How y'all doing? I'm Ezra. I'm out here on this beautiful spring morning having a coffee. And I'm going to play this song called One Big Heart from my new EP. And this song is about mending a broken marriage. And first I want to tell you, before I play the song, I want to tell you a little story about a fan email some years ago, and then a little bit about my own marriage, of it breaking, going through a divorce, and then deciding to give it another go. One of the most special emails I've ever gotten was from this lady, and this was years ago. This is when me and my wife first, got married. This lady had come to one of my shows in Austin. And what's funny is the show, I figured out because she wrote me years after she had been to this show. So it took me a while to figure out which show she was talking about. But the show she had gone to, I remember having high hopes for this show. The venue had really promoted it. It was out on Lake Travis, out on this big deck, and it was supposed to be outside. It was some kind of holiday or something, and there was going to be lots of people there. And we're playing for 3 hours and, pretty good paycheck. And we showed up to the show, and it just happened to be one of those cold days in spring. And whoever was there was so far away from the band that I could hardly tell there was anybody there. I could see a few people sitting up by this restaurant watching us, and otherwise we just played for this big empty area. So I was really disappointed in this show, I remember. But I got this email years later from this lady that said she had been at that show, but not to see us. She came there with her husband to meet in a public place to sign their divorce papers. And they sat down, and a band started playing. And they just heard some things that made them start listening. And of course, I'm over there probably talking and playing to nobody, because I'm going to put on a show whether there's anybody out there or not. And for some reason, they sat and listened to us, and something about one of my songs or the set or whatever I was talking about made them change their mind. Whatever happened, she says at the end of that concert, they tore up the papers, and they went home, and they gave it another try. And that was years, it was years after this that she was writing me, and she said it was the best choice they'd ever made. And one of our songs was their song now. And this song I'm going to play for you today is actually about the same story, but it's in me and my wife's story, because once again, it was I need like a whiteboard to write all this out. But years after that email, me and my wife actually went through a divorce, and we went through the whole shebang, even kind of moved on with our lives and thought it was over. And then in the last minute, we decided, in some strange afternoon when we were there to sign the papers. I had refused for a year to sign the papers, and I finally said, okay. Something happened at that meeting, and we decided to give it another go, to try to keep going. And it's the hardest thing, I tell you, for both of us to come back together. What was hard was the forgiveness, because it was constant forgiveness. And this was years ago that this happened. But this song came out of that. I actually wrote it maybe a couple of years ago, but just remembering that time in our life. And it's called One Big Heart. One big heart where two hearts mend. Love will live forever if we hold on to the end. One step more is how we begin. Walking home together as a lover and a friend. Put your arms around me. Don't it feel better, baby? Bow down and heavy. of our love could carry me. With your arms around me, I'll make you feel better. One big heart is one big chance to write the song that's playing in the lonely lover's dance. Some days we'll fall, then we'll wake up and dream that love will live forever if we only learn to sing. Put your arms around me, don't it feel better, baby? Bow down and heavy, I'll make you feel better. All the waves of our love could carry me. With your arms around me, I'll make you feel better. Some years will crawl, some nights will scream, but one big heart, it will carry you and me. The love that lives forever, it will carry you and me. One big heart. Y'all have a wonderful day. This song actually dropped today on all the apps. It's off of my new EP, We Were Wild, which is coming out on April 15th, but you can hear this song today. There's probably a link somewhere around here. So y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.